Okay, hey, let's calm down. I don't want to cry this early. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Eileen and Lynn, for that amazing introduction. And just to Eileen, Lynn, and the board for all of your support as I've been entering into this role. I just have really appreciated it. You all have been just truly gracious, truly supportive. So thank you so much. I also want to take a minute, and my husband and my son are here tonight, and I just want to say thank you for being here. You are my rock, you are my why, and I couldn't do this without you, so thank you. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. So, for many of us, this has been a challenging year. We've mentioned and heard already about the transgender healthcare ban that was written into law. It was a devastating moment. And, but it's why it's so important to us that we have these moments like tonight, to be in community with each other. Tonight is really about taking back space. We're in this wild political moment. Let's take a moment to pause. Bayard Rustin once said, let us be enraged about injustice, but let us not be destroyed by it. So we're gonna take a minute, we're gonna take some advice from our ancestors, and tonight we're gonna choose joy. The amazing team at Equality Ohio has been doing this work on the front lines for many years, but especially this past year, the team worked really hard to mobilize around HB 68 and just getting us through that rough time. But it was also the work of this agency, alongside many others, that has kept so many other harmful bills from being codified into law. And many of those amazing staff are here tonight. We just applauded them, but can we please give the Equality House staff another round of applause? So since this is my first time on this stage, I want to take a moment just to offer an introduction. So I am Dwayne Steward. I use he, him pronouns. And I am the first Black queer person to hold the permanent seat as executive director of Equality Ohio. But I am so much more than that. I'm an activist, I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a husband, a proud father, I'm the son of a preacher, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a mentor. I'm an Ohioan, born and bred. I'm a voter, and I'm also a proud Black queer man. I believe, like Maya said, I am the dream of the slave. And I stand here on the shoulders of so many who've paved the way to make this moment possible. I'm just really so excited to be here tonight, not just to talk about me, but also to talk about the amazing work of our staff and the past year that we've had, and then also the work ahead. There's so much work that we need to do. And really, despite the consistent opposition from the State House, I believe that we have an opportunity to be creative, that we can get back to our roots, and we can be poised to move from defense into offense as a movement. And some of the examples of how Equality Ohio has been doing that in this past year are plentiful. I just want to go through just a couple things the amazing team has accomplished. Our field team specifically, we coordinated a volunteer text banking event and sent out nearly 20,000 texts to voters to get them out to the polls. Our legal team, our amazing legal clinic, has engaged with over 450 people in 2024 just to date. In one of those cases, they reunited a transgender mother with her child. Development, our amazing team, Mary and Karen, our reoccurring donor society, the Defenders of Equality, many of you are aware of that, but you may not know, it grew from 50 to 280 people in just 2 years. That's a 450% growth. Our amazing communications team, they reached nearly 2 million people through our views of our content and nearly 56,000 followers on our social media. Many of that due to a lot of the work on HB 68. Our amazing policy team, really fought for our values this past year and spent countless hours at the State House, especially back in December. You all remember. They provided immediate education, webinars, and resources for our community to make sure that folks weren't going to lose the amazing services or knew what this new law meant for their lives. I'm really extremely excited to be taking this role in this moment because I truly believe we're working on the civil rights issue of our time. And it might not feel like it every day, but the public is on our side in these issues. The Public Religion Research Institute surveys Americans in every state. And in their most recent survey, 76% of Ohioans favored an LGBTQ+ non-discrimination law. That's 3 out of 4. That's the same as the national average. We see this support in a very real way in our ongoing municipal work, where we currently are up to 35 local jurisdictions in 1 county that now bans discrimination against LGBTQ people. And we have a majority, 58% of Ohioans oppose religious-based right to discriminate bills that attack our community. So that's the good news. The bad news is we have a legislator in Ohio protected by years of gerrymandering that does not reflect the will of the people. We lost on HB 68. It was a devastating attack on the rights of trans youth and their families. More attacks are coming in our lame duck session ahead. I want to take a moment and just speak to our trans community. We are just so proud of everyone who stood up, trans parents, trans families, all the doctors and the amazing medical staff that spoke. There were students, trans students in high school, they were doing their homework in hallways, waiting to testify late into the evening. I want to make a promise that Equality Ohio, we will continue this fight. And one of the ways that we fight is to hold people accountable. In the legislative scorecard that was just released today, if you haven't seen it, go online, go to Equality Ohio, check it out. It's launched today. Our amazing policies team, communications team did a fabulous job. There were a lot of Fs this year. I think we all know why. But finally, we have a chance this year to change things with Issue 1 on the ballot. Issue 1 would take redistricting out of the hands of career politicians and put it into a nonpartisan citizens commission. The public is on our side here too. A recent poll showed 60% support for this ballot measure. So I have 2 asks for you tonight. First, make sure your families and friends and neighbors know about Issue 1. You hear it every cycle. This is the most important election of our time. But with redistricting on the ballot, with our Supreme Court in the balance, I believe that this is true for Ohio this year as well. The polling shows support. But what you need to know is that ballot measures almost always underperform the public polling. We need to fight for this measure, for Issue 1, as if we are behind. So my ask, talk to your friends and neighbors about Issue 1. I'm personally volunteering to get out the vote, and I hope you will too. When Wisconsin passed a similar redistricting measure, their assembly became a toss-up after years of gerrymandering. Could you imagine if we didn't always have to be on defense in Ohio? What would that look like? Let's dream of that world. Let's make that world happen together. So I want to end today and speak to you as a parent. So I dream of a day when my son can live in Ohio where the government focuses on working with transgender communities instead of actively working against them. I hope for my son and for every child that they can live in a time when the idea of attacking someone for who they love is a barbaric notion of a far-off yesteryear. I hope every child can come of age in a world where seeing LGBTQ representation in the media is just as American as apple pie. But to make that dream a reality, the reason we're all here tonight, we need your money. So our goal this year is to raise $175,000. We are about $45,000 away from that goal. So please, please, please do what you can. Give often, give early, as they like to say. There are so many ways that you can give tonight. There's the cards on your table. You're going to hear this again later, but I want to make sure that I also say it. The cards on your table, there's a QR code on the back of some of the table tents. There's even what they're calling a dipstick. I am not technology savvy, so you'll have to ask my staff how that works. But if you do so, you donate $10 or $20 right away. You don't have to do anything. Just put your card in the thing over there, and you can give some money right away. So to make sure you do that before you leave. And even if redistricting passes, it's going to take some time for us to get to that world we want to live in. And we know that the legislature can spring anti-equality bills on us at any moment. We've seen it. We've experienced it. We need the resources to quickly mobilize so that we can fight back. So thank you all for being here. Please, let's celebrate. Let's have a good time. And I'm just so excited to be your new executive director. Thank you.